All right, boys, this is the one you've been waiting for. So if you guys remember back in early November, I made some kind of somewhat sort of announcements in regarding to Retropie or the Pi and Arcade 1UP. And back in early November, I told you guys I was going to get back to you. Took some time to do some research, but then of course some things happened. But here we are. We got a few more minutes left into 2022 before we get into 2023. Wanted to definitely get this video up because I do believe this is the biggest information from Arcade 1UP and what we can do in the retro gaming community of all of 2022. But before we get into that story, I definitely want to give a huge shout out to the person who gave me this information. This was given to me by some of you who may consider a shill, but this individual went deep undercover to get us this information. He did his shilling, quote unquote, but he was deep undercover to try to get us this important information. He sat on it for several months, and then he was like, hey, Keo, can you take a look at this for me? Let me know what you think. And so I gave him my opinion about it, gave him my in-depth review, and definitely we want to give a huge shout out to the man, the myth, the legend, none other than OTG Overthink Gaming. This man went deep undercover behind enemy lines to give us this late breaking intel. And so what you guys are looking at is a debug script from NFL Blitz. And so with this code, I just want to kind of point out a few things here. It tells us what games are on here. If you see this line here, it gives us Blitz 99R, Blitz 2K, and also regular Blitz. And then up here, it tells us what platform there's using. These are the boards that Arcade 1UP is using, which is H6. But I want you guys to take a very important look here. You guys can tell this is coded in Linux because you have FI down here for finish, as well as some additional scripts. But as you can see here, if you scroll down to this line, it tells you that they are using Pi. So what this does is it tells us that they are using a Pi device as a dev kit. Now, primarily that is fine. However, usually if you compile on one SBC and then transfer it to the other, sometimes it may not run too well. You guys may be familiar with how Odroid can run Retropie, but it's a little different than, it's not a simple copy and paste scenario if you're using the Raspberry Pi and then you want to use Retropie on Odroid, or let's say the NVIDIA Jetson, which it ran terribly. So those are some things to look out for. So we do have some information here that Arcade 1UP is using a Pi to compile NFL Blitz games. Now, preferably they may be using the Pi device for several others, but we don't have that information. I would actually have to see some type of debug information. Now, that's not the big news. The big news is that I definitely want to share with all of you today. What does this mean? And so some of you are aware that Supreme Ultra was delayed for like another month or two. We were checking it out, but after looking at this, you know, we said to ourselves, and I was talking to members of the Supreme team, why don't we just go ahead and port over Arcade 1UP's GUI over to Retropie and Supreme Ultra? So what this does, it also means that yes, if you guys have seen Code Mystics a few weeks ago, they released spectator mode for Killer Instinct, and that was something they did for free. That was not something based upon their Twitter posts and things that have gone on in the community. That's not something Arcade 1UP did, or that's not something they advocated for, but now you can see that additional features can be added to your Arcade 1UP and to your GUI. So what does this mean for you, the consumer, if the Arcade 1UP front end, which it can be, the GUI can be ported over to Retropie or Supreme Ultra? Well, it means that all of those little geek boards that you guys are out buying, all the PCBs that you guys are out buying, are totally obsolete. There's many things that they are capable of doing, and you guys haven't seen the full potential of what your PCB or your Arcade 1UP can do. So all of the scripts that you guys have seen on Retropie, video output scripts, the video marquee script, where you can have your marquee and have a video playing, the send-in light gun script, incorporating gun for IR, incorporating the AE light gun, any imaginable script that you guys have ever seen on Retropie, or you guys have seen here, especially on this particular channel, because we've showcased a lot of the scripts, it can all run on your Arcade 1UP unit Only thing is, we don't have access to the GUI. So, attract mode, which is the hyperspin version for Retropie. Everything that you guys would probably want, I would actually say would want, maybe hyperspin or your attract mode, being able to create your own custom themes in the game for your GUI, being able to play customized music, anything that you guys have seen, controller setup and whatnot, they have the potential to do it, but for whatever reason, they just don't. Again, this can be ported over to Supreme Ultra. In fact, this is one of the reasons why there was a delay on it, because we were looking into it. Everything that you guys have seen, again, here on this channel, just letting you guys know the full potential has not been reached on your PCB. This, again, would make all of your PCBs totally obsolete. Your GeekWord boards, because since you only need to modify your stock PCB, getting an additional adapter, wasting money, spending your times on additional PCBs. We could load the GUI on Supreme Ultra, as you guys have seen, switcheroo, or being able to switch front ends, either going from Retropie to attract mode to Windows. What is it? The Windows operating system. I forget remember the actual name on the Raspberry Pi. It can be done. And so I wanted to make this video, just making this quick announcement, letting you guys know what is the full potential of your arcade 1UP unit. However, the team over there just doesn't do it. But again, it would be nice to see the attract mode, which is like a hyperspin type of front end for that interface. There's more that they can do with it, but for whatever reason, again, I have no idea as to why they don't take it to that limit. The stock GUIs and interfaces that you guys have seen are really bare bones. There's a lot more that you can do with it, and we can offer that to you. But again, we just don't have the GUI to fully interface it. It can be done. It's really a simple process. Of course, we would test it, but that's one of the things that we were looking into. And I think some people out there may have thought we just would have spoiled this by simply looking at this code. But no. There's more information here, considering that they are using Pi as a dev kit. We can port over the GUI over to Retropie, at least primarily on Supreme Ultra, because that is the most advanced Retropie front end. And then, of course, there are some other teams out there too that once they do see things like this, maybe Retrobat, Batasira, they can also port over the arcade 1UP GUI interface and have it run. And so again, that would make everything that you guys have as far as your PCBs and your Geekworms totally obsolete. You can integrate other trackballs, other spinners, other light guns. You don't have to use the standard light guns. You guys know we have Supreme Ultra. That script with the send-in light gun we've had sitting on for what, over a year now. It's like 20 or 30 pages of a good high-end code that even send-in himself does not even have. And if you guys have also noticed with Supreme Ultra and the team that I work with, no other team out there has a track mode running, but all of that could be given to you. Double boots, different intros, anything could be customized. So again, if you guys have been following this channel for quite some time, that is the full potential of what they can do for you, just integrate it on a different particular interface. Now, as far as online gaming, yes, because it's operating off of the same system and same network encode, then yes, you would be able to integrate and play your Marvel vs. Capcom and all the other online games with each other. Nothing would change even on that end. So that is the late breaking news that I definitely wanted to give to all of you. Again, I've had this now since November. I know I promised it to you guys last week, but a lot of things have really been going on. And right about now, I think we have about 20 good minutes left in 2022. And so, yeah, this is, in my opinion, the biggest news, because it gives you the full potential of your board. It lets you know what you can have, but you're not getting. I would really love to see some video marquee scripts in the arcade community. And for those of you guys that know this, that big pixel technology, the scripts that are behind that, as well as Supreme Ultra, that video marquee key script, they're very much brother and sister. If you guys follow Ad Games and also looked at the time of release of those two scripts, I'm not going to go into further detail about it, but I would say that those two scripts are very much like it. So if you guys really love like the big pixel marquee scripts and whatnot, they are very much similar with what the Supreme script is, and you guys could have that on your RK1-Up as well. That's what also the other HDMI port is capable of giving you, is additional marquee or additional video scripts as well. So again, guys, consider subscribing to the channel. I will keep you guys heavily updated. Sorry, I just had to give you guys this late breaking information because I have been supremely supremely busy over here. I hope you guys are all enjoying Supreme Ultra 2.0 going into 2023. We have a lot of good information that we do want to give to you, and so I shared this information with several of you a few weeks ago. Thank you guys for keeping it tight-lipped. But I know some people just thought, oh, well, it's just the script. They compiled this on a Pi. No, there's much more to that. So if you guys know people on the team for Batacero, Retrobat, and they have access to that GUI, yeah, they can also do the same thing too, and everything that you're familiar with on those particular front ends. The GUI from RK1-Up can be incorporated and make life a lot easier for those of you out there in the community. So with that being said, again, miss you guys. I will still be around. Catch you guys later. Happy 2023. Peace out.